welcome back. My name's Alex, and in this video I'll tell you about Tropical Storm Christine devastates parts of the Philippines, calls to halt airport fee increase at Naya Airport, foreign tourist causes a scene after being asked to put out cigarette, Malaysia charges 22 members of the Islamic group for organized crime, plus much more. And stick around till the end of this video. I'm going to tell you guys how the movie I watched last night, the scary one I told you guys about, how that went, plus the crazy story that happened to me personally involving another foreigner. That'll be all by the end of this video. Let's jump straight into our main story. In Thailand, a confrontation occurred at Chiang Mai's popular night market when a foreign man reacted violently after being asked to stop smoking near a dessert stall. Despite signs prohibiting smoking, the man argued that he had the right to smoke and became aggressive when asked to put out his cigarette, damaging the stall and throwing a lit cigarette at the vendor's sister. In response, the vendor threw water to extinguish the cigarette, which accidentally splashed the man. The situation calmed when the man's friend returned and apologized. The incident captured on TikTok has sparked discussion about cultural misunderstandings and respect for local rules. Once again, a foreigner thinking that he's all that in another country. This happens quite often when people travel. They just feel like they have the same rights as they do back home. Not only that, I mean, you're in a different country. You really want to start something over a cigarette. I'm not a smoker. I understand it's like a need and this actual urge, right? It's an addiction. I get that. I personally cannot stand smokers, especially when they smoke in restaurants and places I'm eating. Bali and Turkey was the worst. Regardless, this person, I don't know the whole story. Obviously, both sides. There's going to be some. I don't think that's just to put out the cigarette, the water. Let's be honest. But regardless of what happened, you shouldn't behave that way when you're in a different country, when you're traveling, because the law is not always on your side. Luckily, this, I guess, resolved peacefully, but you never know what could happen. Speaking of which, I'll just tell you guys a story what I was talking about that happened to me last night. So yesterday after the movie, by the way, I watched Smile 2, which was pretty scary if you ask me. I love scary movies. It had a few good jump scares. Anyways, on the way back home, on the highway, basically under a U-turn lane, we had to go ahead and make a U-turn, and it was our lane. And Palm was driving. I was behind her on a motorcycle, and suddenly I hear this screeching sound of brakes, tires, and the road. And Palm suddenly went into the next lane, and a car just went right by us. And I'm like, what the heck happened, right? I wasn't even paying attention, but I guess she saw in her mirrors the flashing lights and this car was fishtailing and couldn't stop in time. So I'm still trying to process what's happening. By now we made the U-turn already, and I see this car parked on the side of the road, and a foreigner is driving it, and he's reaching for something, because initially I told Palm to go ahead and I was going to talk to the guy. I thought he was going to, I don't know, apologize or something, but I'm like quickly thought, no, wait a minute, what if he's got something in there? He's on some kind of, I don't know what could happen, right? Maybe he's reaching for something, because he was reaching in his car. And anyways, I told Palm to keep going, and by the time she drove off, I noticed he didn't have anything in his hand, but he kept on going like this. I don't know what's going on. So if you're that guy, by any chance, you're watching this video, write me in the comment section. What the heck, man? You trying to kill me? Huh? You trying to run me off the road? Next up in the Philippines, Tropical Storm Trami, known locally as Christine, has caused severe flooding in the Philippines, resulting in at least 26 people being perished at the time of making this video. Over 30,000 people to evacuate. The Bicol region especially affected, making rescue efforts difficult. Trami is expected to hit Luzon, the largest island, and has been upgraded to a severe tropical storm. Authorities are working hard on evacuations and emergency responses, but some areas are struggling due to the storm's strength. Also, 500,000 people right now are without power, plus 8,000 stranded passengers at different ports around the country. This is one of those situations. I've been lucky enough I haven't experienced this at all. I think mainly because of Cebu and that region. I missed the big one. I forgot which one it was called a few years back, but either way, you know, a lot of people do go through this kind of stuff. It's very devastating. Maybe they cannot access their ATM, bank cards, Wi-Fi, and just actual living, right? So not everybody lives in a condominium, right? Some people rent homes that are just ground level. So I hope everyone's safe, and I hope that everybody makes it out of this one as well, because the Philippines gets hit with a bunch of these types of tropical storms every single year. Staying in the Philippines, a consumer advocacy group, Citizen Watch Philippines, is calling to halt the increase in airport fees after a baggage mishap at Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Terminal 3 on October 22nd. Over 800 pieces of luggage were left behind due to a malfunctioning 20-year-old baggage handling system. The group argues that the fee hikes, which include increased takeoff and landing charges, are premature and unjust given the current state of the airport facilities. They urge the Department of Transportation to reconsider the fees increase until improvements are fully implemented. Airlines have since offered baggage recovery and delivery services, with 90% of the delayed bags already recovered. Kind of a good point. I never really thought of that, because I think this is coming from the airlines themselves. They used to pay around 4,000 pesos per landing and takeoff. Now it's gone up to 15,000 pesos per plane. Different rates, of course. I don't know the details about that. But it's kind of true, right? I mean, the airport hasn't been upgraded yet, so why pay the fees now? Why not after? Plus, let's say myself, if some kind of fee increase applies to me, I'm paying for it, but not really receiving the services or the quality, but like 3 months later, somebody else gets what basically I essentially... Anyways, yeah, what do you guys think so far? Leave your comments down below regarding any of the stories I covered so far. Let's go on to our next story. Next up, Malaysia has charged 22 members of the Islamic business group GISB, including its CEO, with organized crime. This follows the rescue of over 500 children from welfare homes tied to GISB, where many were reportedly not treated well. Let's put it that way. The group is also being investigated for trafficking and money laundering, with links to the banned Islamic sector Al-Arqam. Authorities have frozen GISB's bank accounts, and the accused could be facing up to 20 years in prison if found guilty. The case has caused widespread outrage, raising serious concerns about child protection. Good. I hope they get 200 years. Yeah, well, what a crazy story there. Let's go on to our next one. Next up, in Indonesia, an Italian surfer, Giulia Manfredini, 36 years old, tragically lost her life after being impaled by a swordfish while surfing in Indonesia's Mentawai Islands, an extremely rare accident. Despite immediate efforts by witnesses and local medical teams, she could not be saved. Manfredini, who co-founded a travel agency, was known for her love of surfing and adventure. Her passing serves as a reminder of the unpredictable dangers of nature, even in peaceful and beautiful surroundings. What a tragedy. Growing up, I thought swordfish weren't really a thing. I know it sounds silly, but I thought there's no way a fish can have something like that. But that's just completely beside the point. But yeah, may she rest in peace. She did what she loved, at least. I guess there's no positive spin on this story. And I mean, I guess be careful. It's just sad to hear and unbelievable to me. Let's hop on over to Thailand. A popular influencer known as B, with over 2 million followers, has been arrested by cyber police for promoting online gambling. She admitted to be paid 2,500 baht, that's around $75 US, per post to share gambling links. Police have led investigation, which uncovered that her Facebook page, followed by 2.2 million people, was being used to advertise illegal gambling activities. B is now facing charges for promoting and encouraging others to join illegal online gambling. She confessed to the paid post after investigators traced the promotions back to her account. 75 bucks a post, doesn't seem like much money to be sacrificing your career, your reputation, obviously maybe potential jail term, unless she had like unlimited amount of time she can post a link. One thing also, when I was growing up, I thought like this whole crackdown on illegal gambling was like a moral thing, but now as a grown-ass person, I know it's just about taxation, and basically the government does not want you to make any money unless you get a cut of it. Kind of ironic when Thailand's pushing to legalize gambling right now in the country. Anyways, I understand the law is the law, but sometimes you gotta question some of these things. Also, in a lot of more news, I'm not gonna actually go into detail about many tragedies on the roads of Thailand. Several people, foreigner and local, involving motorcycles, trucks, different methods of just collisions all happening in Thailand. Many people have lost their lives. You guys can go ahead and look into that in more detail if you like. And now it's time for a segment Yesterday Today, where I take a look at some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Miss Ross 871 says, the Pinoys are very good, well known as best singer, dancer too, and caregiver, and nurse in a broad country. Oh, don't tell me, as a pickpocket also? In Manila, they are roaming around everywhere. I am one of their victims. Yes, definitely be careful when you're out anywhere. Watch your belongings and make sure that nobody's getting close to your pockets. Zip it up, tie it up, carry that fanny pack. They're no longer corny, apparently, everybody's using them. So be sure to protect your wallet and your belongings. Dan says, it is sad that the Philippines has to go through so many natural disasters. They could spend more money on infrastructure and advance the country, but they always have to spend those funds on rebuilding. But the attitude of the people is very uplifting, no matter what disaster they face. Great people. An excellent point, right? And that's definitely one of the factors why I think the Philippines is not developing as fast as some other countries nearby. I understand that's not the only problem or the only issue. Of course, there's like a lot of reasons and factors why anything happens, but definitely this cannot be ignored. One of the main reasons, I think, or at least one of the reasons this continues to happen and hinder the development of the Philippines is the natural disasters as we see today and these days with Christine. And lastly, Soupy makes a good point by saying way more tourists in Thailand. I believe this is in regards to why Filipinos were in Thailand pickpocketing. As we know, or some of us don't know, Thailand receives about, I would say, 5 to 6 times the amount of tourists that the Philippines receive. And that's it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it and haven't yet had a chance to subscribe, take a second out of your day, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. It really motivates me to make these videos. I'll see you guys tomorrow.